So this is Chiluly.
Notice that you put that in the bag or pocket.
Okay, hello dear friends. Here I am at Chiluly Museum, and this is the artist Chiluly. And the total exhibition has 9 sections. We will go one by one. So this is the first one. It is called Glass Forest. And how it was done is that the glass was poured from a step ladder. You kind of stand on top, you stand high, and then start to pour molten glass. It's like you are pouring a soup from a spoon or gravy, and then as the temperature cools down, the bottom part, the bowl, is where the soup starting from, and then your hand turns and turns around, and finally the glass cools down. Some of these are straight, some are still turning. This one is still turning, and this one is a straight pour down. And then the form of this tentacle-like shape start to form. It looks like it defies the gravity. And this exhibition is lighted by neon and argon air. It looks quite mysterious and interesting, and have this very fairy and jing, 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 jing feel. Right? This particular room is called Sealife Room, and it is inspired by the ocean creatures, and by the bouquet sound ocean. So he had designed with this very freestyle drawing his design idea and blow into different form of glass, of creature. So you cannot help but be attracted by this centerpiece. This centerpiece was another kind of chandelier, but this one is so heavy there is no way you can hang it from the ceiling. So he made into a standing chandelier. In the center there is one piece of a center stick, and each piece of this glass is individually blown and then attached into the center. And this one, since it is so condensed, we cannot see how it is formed. We may be able to see some of other pieces that is less enclosed, we can see. So in this exhibition, you cannot touch anything, because once you touch one thing, everything may fall apart. It's not one piece of work. It's a composition of several thousand pieces of works assembled together. This exhibition is called Northwestern Room. Northwestern Indians, the Native American people, lived here. Chiluly was from Tacoma in Seattle, and this place had a rich history of Native Americans' basket weaving, and this has become his inspiration for this particular room of exhibition. He imitated or inspired, or this period of his glass work was inspired by those baskets. So he imitated the color and the shape and some motif design motif, and the back is his inspiration or similar source of things. This exhibition is particularly important in his art practice and art development, because before he started this kind of this series of art form, he was very much influenced by the classic, symmetric, and perfect form of glass, or very traditional form of glass. Through this exhibition, he started to experiment something much free, which later on became his signature touch, that is freedom in glass blowing. And for this imitation of weaving, he actually used glass beads and let them melt these glass beads, or really weaving these glass beads and make it into this weaving design, and then blow the glass and push the form of the glass. So these are the native Northwestern people. So now this coming room is Persian ceiling. I do not know why the name is called Persian, and he named this big place Persian. He used to have an exhibition called Persian in Seattle Art Museum, and this one is at the beginning he did it. He put it flat on the floor, kind of, and with architects he was able to put a piece of flat transparent glass and then just layer all his small pieces on top of it. And the big plates is called Persian, and the small pieces put on top of it and we get together with it and beside it create this very interesting and very rich color and sheen. And the lighting is lit on top of the glass, so you can see the light through it and make it really fluorescent, colorful, and rich in form, in shape, and in arrangement. And you can see this. Actually, there is one Chiluly glass ceiling in Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas. Now we are going to enter into Mille Fiori, which is an Italian word for thousands flowers, 1,000 flowers. And this is such a beautiful, beautiful composition of form, of color, and everything. It was inspired by his, or just memorized his childhood, his mother's garden, the garden flowers. And it's a lot of to do, not only with the color but also with the technique of blowing this glass. It's kind of using its centrifuge force to get this this kind of long and extruding long spikes. And he made all sorts of shapes by blowing and then stop blowing and then blow again with something hold in the middle. You can see that one, hold in the middle, blow, hold in the middle, blow again, and extrusion and twist. And this one is already, this is already textured surface, and then twist it and blow it. Gosh. And all these glass colors are from mineral colors, as you can imagine. As you can imagine, vegetable color at this temperature cannot exist. Colors comes from nature, from natural flower, or come from minerals. And glass painting, not glass blowing, glass artwork definitely cannot use color from vegetable, because it will all burn flowers, and it has to use color from minerals. And when they put the color at the beginning, actually you cannot see the color. It's all this yellowish and creamy-ish color, and you have to know what color comes from this. And this one is very like come from CUS 硫酸铜 CUS SO4. I do not know the name of. I only know the chemical composition of it, and the green and the yellow may be from amber, and the green and the yellow, they are all from minerals. And here we can, I think we can take a look at how this is formed. Okay, now I zoom in, you will see this. Can you see they are all installed with a stick in the middle, a huge stick, and then the sticks comes out a few branches, and then these tubes, these swirly, fiery tube was installed on top of that sticks. How beautiful this one! And with the reflection, it really adds up a lot. See? This room deserves a few minutes more, a couple of minutes more. Some of these glass colors are less transparent, maybe because they are from some colors that has a larger surface of the metal itself. Some are very fluid and transparent. Okay, I will zoom in. Let's see, this color is so pretty. This one, some cut glass pieces, and at relatively lower temperature put it so the glass piece is not totally melted into this kind of spot of color. It's not liquidized, and there are still some heart shape. It's like the stem, the flower stem. That is a beautiful color also. Okay, let's walk. The non-transparent color, maybe because the glass is not totally melted. I do not know. Look at this color. Can you imagine this flower? I I think it's bird of paradise, don't you agree? This could be Calla lily or inspired by Calla lily. This one is Ikebana and floating bowls. So he started this bowl series when he was in Finland. In Finland, he started to try to make some bowls into the river, and the bowls floating in the river. The bowls float, and the local kids, teenagers, use their rowboats and start to catch those bowls. And this became his inspiration. So he started to make these floating boats. And he collected all these bowls or made different colors of bowls and put on top of a boat. And this particular boat is inspired by Japanese flower arrangement Ikebana. So there is a different dimension or different arrangement, which is much more interesting and fun to see. There are tall, slender sticks flowing and twisting stems and leaves and flowers and balls. Well, if you are a real Japanese, maybe this is just a little bit too much of Ikebana, but it definitely make it very beautiful and very interesting to see the assortment of shape, of color, of transparency, of opacity, and it feels so dynamic. There is beauty in variety, in difference. There is beauty in uniformity. And this one is drawing walls. There was a time that Chiluly got his left eye got into problem. I heard it's an accident, not glass blowing related, but so he had this pirate-like eye cover. Anyway, so he had an accident and his arm dislocated, so he could not really put himself into a lot of physical work, and he was chair bound, so he had to stay without too much movement. So at this time he started to draw and use it as expression as well as inspiration for further works. He used very, very, very thick, I think 300 or 400 gram watercolor paper, and he used metallic colors to paint on it, and very thick metallic paints, many layers of metallic paints. So if you do not know how the metallic paints are made, is the powder of paints and the real metal powder. They grind the metal into very refined mesh and combine the color and make into these paints. And sometimes he burns the paper, so it really creates very interesting texture and very interesting color. And I think these paints and paintings took their own life, took on their own life with their own right. This is Chandelier Room, the room called the Chandelier Room. And Chiluly was always inspired by architectural design and interested in architects. So he designed this series, and the centerpiece, as you can see, is just way too heavy to hang from above. Maybe you can see on top. On top are very strong metal wire to hold it. They are very, very heavy. So he made it into different shapes, different designs. And this white one, you can see how it is formed. Let's take a look. Yeah, here is one particular one. I think we can see. Do we see it here? Do you see the white stick here? Under this very bright glass, you can see the center is a piece of I cannot see. Anyway, the center is a stick and with a lot of branches coming out. It's like my hand with fingers, but there are thousands, hundreds or thousands of fingers. If you count this piece, you will know how many fingers it has. So this kind of design is not only glass blowing, but also the glass assortment and installation. You can see his painting and design, wall paints that inspires this chandelier design. It's not an accurate illustration of the painting, but sometimes you need that freedom, you need that craziness, you need that wild audacity. So this kind of painting really express that particular feeling and moment. Of contemplation. this one we are entering Makia forest. Makia it means stash, dash, dashy, dash, or spots. Like I had a stash on my face, on my clothes, some dirty spots. So the design came here. He wanted to experiment all the colors he had. He used all the color spots and put on the place. Originally, this was like this Persian, and you can see it through the blue sky. And then he found if he put it inside, that blue does not reflect the color very well. So he developed, use a kind of white or relatively opaque color to reflect the color even better. So you can see this kind of design, it's better to see from outside. From inside, it's covered, it's clouded, and he called it cloud. So there are at least 2 layers of color. I do not know how did he made this. Maybe 2 or 3 layers. 1 layer of white glass and 1 layer of the base glass. Let's say this one is orange, and then spots put on top of it, like a piece of white paper to make it flat, like a paper. And then when the glass is hot, it becomes softened, not totally melted, and hold to its form. A bit like making pizza dough. Making taco bowl. Yeah, taco bowl is more accurate way of, isn't it taco bowl? We should call it taco bowls. So this one, he's experimenting with all his 300 of colors. Taco bowl. Exactly, taco bowls. I give it a better name. I entered this room and do not understand why there are this exhibition that is unrelated to what I am seeing. And then I went there. This is the second time I see. I got to understand. Here are all the pictures of glass pavilions, glass halls around the world. And Chiluly was very much inspired by the glasses, the glass halls. So many years ago, when he was in London, he visited this glass hall and was inspired by the beautiful hand-blown glass hanging as a chandelier. And 30 years later, voila, his glass hall. And he had his dream. He always wanted to have a glass hall, and he had his dream realized. So he signed in one of these beams. In one of these beams, he had signed his name. And this glass hall is just magnificent. It is beyond word to describe. And this is made roughly of yellow, orange, red, and amber color, and these are 4 warm colors, and blending and combining differently maybe, but seems four kind of pure color, and extruded with different thickness and different size, has a different color effect. And during daytime, until from morning sunrise to sunset, the color change have a different feeling, creates different atmosphere. It is very interesting. I came this, what we are now is at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. I came at 1 o'clock, and it did not change very much during this 1 hour period. But I guess until 6, 7 o'clock, it will be very interesting to see. Okay, this is the Chandelier corridor. Red, blue and turquoise, green, yellow, I think this one, I forgot what it is. It's pinkish, lemon green, and sunset. Here is an outdoor Chiluly glass garden. It incorporates with the background. I wonder what will happen when it rains, when it blows. And this one is unbelievable. How can they get this color?
They're stacking.
I'm running out of battery. I am running out of battery. The last.
Diamond shears to really pull it out in that way you see. That means that it makes it really blunt and really sharp at the edge because of that. So you're going to notice also how it's extra shimmery in there.